dude was asking on YouTube, he says when he likes the pop bridge detail. Do you guys all know that? Pop bridge detail?
That's that control one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but he says when he gets his knee inside and he tries to put the butterfly hook in, he's just not able to like move the guy back or sit up. Right, so he's asking me to elaborate on how you do that. So he said, do you scoot your butt back or do you scoot them back or whatever? So it just depends. Like if he's really heavy, of course, I'm gonna scoot myself back. Most of the time I'm able to move him, but so what you have to understand is in butterfly, there's a drill that, you know, like people do, like if he starts out like low like this, okay, you want to keep your hooks engaged and constantly flexed and like on them in constant contact. So if he lifts up a leg, like my foot is like glued. And the other thing is you want your knees sort of pinched like on the outside and not very easily like, so like if he sits up and tries to pass them to a side, you want to keep them sort of wedged on the sides of the ribs. So that how I'm going to get out of this, keep your knees like really tight, like this. It's a pretty common position. People keep their head tight, they pinch on your hips here, and everything's real tight. It's hard to get up. So this is related to the side control skate because you're going to use your abs, here, your stomach to help you sit up. But in order to sit up, if I can't sit up, he's pushing me down with his head. I have to use my legs to help me sit up. So one thing I'm going to do is grab right in the armpits, and I'm going to do like a quick pull forward like this, pulling him in, and then after I off balance him to the front, I'm going to then shoot him out. And so then it also becomes especially important to keep my knees on the outside of the ribs here so that I don't start like getting lazy with this and he just pushes my knees to one side or the other, right? I need to be constantly keeping my knees like on the outside here. So that drill right there is really important. So you're stuck here, he's initiating all these types of butterfly passes. So if you stay here, he's gonna start working the pass and your hips are totally stuck. So I've gotta start working my way out of this. So one thing I'll do is grab the armpits. You could even like bridge your hips up a little bit just to get some movement, pull him forward, shoot his legs back. So what I wanna think about doing is kind of using my shins to sort of slide his knees like back on the mat. So like especially if he didn't even put me flat and I'm already up and he's trying to put me flat, look, I can slide his knees away. And I'm kind of keeping my feet flexed and like engaged and stuck on him. Sticky hooks, right? So, and whatever side I'm thinking about going to, I want to keep my knee on the outside and don't have it go like in, right? So for the side control skate, I go here, and you want to bring your toes really close to your butt, just like this, here, so go like this, and then give them a pop here, but you also, when you pop, you're gonna frame, and then your hips are gonna, before they hit the ground, they're gonna kick out, like that. And then your knee can come in, like this. And imagine Omar's like a really big guy, right? I generally prefer to go to frame, and because I'm flexible in my hips, I can rock up. You see? I can rock up, loop my foot, open, keep my knee open, and then frame again. But if sometimes I'll do pop, get my knee in, I get some space with my head, framing on the hip here. This foot can come in as a butterfly hook, like that. And you really want to flex your foot and keep it really stuck and engaged here, just like this. And then from here, it's all about, I'm going to extend the hook, look, and at the same time, I'm engaging my stomach to sit up, and then this foot comes out and goes here. And I can have tight control of the elbows. And then from here, you might want to think about doing a fast sweep to one side or the other, kicking a knee straight, hitting a butterfly sweep, something like that, right? So here, watch, boom, get my knee inside. He's fighting to stay close, right? Look, hook comes in, and now I'm sort of gonna slide his knee like away, like this, and sit up. And another part is this frame. So even if he's a big guy, look, this frame on his neck, is helping me keep the weight off. And then I can sort of, yes, like you said, scoot back, put my feet on the hips, look for arm drags, that kind of thing. So I'm kind of going like, look, this foot's coming in like here, with a frame, sitting up, scooting them back. Taking it from here to here, scooting back, look, guillotine. That's another way you get the guillotine. Say he's like head to head with you, you pull him, slide his knees out, look. So he's head to head like this, you're fighting, look, grab the armpits, pull him on top, bring your knees in, and then you're gonna kind of kick and slide his knees out, look, and his head goes lower than your head, and then you're gonna slap, feed, put your chest over it, connect your hands, put it this side, look. So that's the same general idea. But if the guy's really big, let's say Alan, right? Hey, Alan. And maybe I'm not able to move him back, so I'm gonna do a lot more moving myself back. So here, pop, get my knee in, hold tight. Look, hook comes in. Yeah, look, he's big, so I'm not able to slide back, but I'm also gonna frame on his neck, scoot myself back, like that. You see how I'm kind of like moving myself off of him? And generally speaking, if he's a big guy, I'm gonna look to put a foot on a hip so that when he presses forward, I don't feel any of that weight. So then, my big guy strategy, a lot of them tend to pass like on their knees like this. So I tend to not want to get under them so much, I want to go like around them. So what I like to do is stay in front, play this game, and then hit my arm drags. Okay? Grabbing the hip, and now none of the weight is on me. I'm not actually dealing with the weight. Post up, I'm on the back. Staying tight. So as a general strategy, just don't let people cross face you. That's gonna make your side control escapes like a lot better and more effective. And how dealing with this head wrap is so hard. So the first thing, pop, get your arm inside. Look, get your head away, start framing. Give another pop, pop, get your knee inside. Look how I get my back away to get my arms straight. Instead of trying to bench him off, slide yourself away so your arms lock out. Look, so to come forward with your weight, look, hook, foot on the hip. See that? Hook, foot on the hip. Now here's where you're vulnerable to be smashed this way, right? So you gotta keep your knee out, feet on the hips, guillotined, you know what I'm saying? Arm drag. If you wanna hit this arm drag, let's turn a bit. As soon as you're in here, you're probably gonna be head to head or something like this, right? Like this. You're gonna be fighting, hand fighting like this. What I'm gonna do, this way I like to do it, is I get control of the wrist, either thumb down or thumb up, here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna punch it forward, creating this like hinge effect, versus just dragging and letting it go straight and sliding down, like this. I'm gonna punch it forward and do it at the same time, go one. So I have this hinge door effect happening like this. So now I'm gonna step to the outside with this leg. This leg is gonna go from the hip to his leg and extend, creating an angle. So he's facing this way and I'm on my way to his back. Right in the armpit, step, and then put all my weight like off my butt and into his arm like this. Here. I go to my elbow, my foot's still on the knee if I can help it, right? Grab straight for the hip. And something I like to do is switch really quick from here to the wrist and just post off of it and then put my hook in, come up, hip to hip, okay, controlling the hip. And then if I feel his weight can be pulled over, I'll grab the hip and jump backwards and pull it, straightening this arm and then connecting the seatbelt, head to head, like temple to temple, hook, pinch your knees, and you get that nice squeeze with your seatbelt. You want to have your chest, your sternum, completely glued to their spine, right? So there's no like movement in there. You want to be completely tight. So I pull my elbows in, take up as much space as possible, and squeeze. Don't get the back and relax your arms. You got to be like engaging, like really tight. So more time for side control. I'm blocking here. Now here's another thing. If you feel like you're dealing with the crossface, it's very tough. Walk on your shoulders.
That's another little detail you can, and he's gonna stay on your hip. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go pop, boom, here. You know, extending, getting away, get my shoulder away. Butterfly hook in, feet on the hips, just like this. Now look, sit forward. If I lean back, I'm gonna fall back. So I sit forward, I have my feet on the hips. Hand fight, look, hand fight. Punch the grip in, hook, step to the outside. Go from the hip down here, boom, here, wrist, hook inside, jump back. Seatbelt, head to head, squeeze. If he's really big and I can't pull him over, just jump on their back or follow them. So I'm gonna go one, boom, here. And then from here we have a hook in. This hook can stay knee pinched in this area, hook this foot inside. That sometimes will bend him out to the side, and now I can reach through, grab the wrist, attack the neck, and jump to the side here. And then, now I know that's a lot of information, and that's kind of my teaching style, is to overwhelm people with detail, but it's the details that make it work, you know? If you don't have the detail, it's just not gonna work. So you have to think about all these little tiny details and make sure it's really tight. You know, you can think simply at first, and maybe you'll get some success, but when you get up to, you try to escape, you know, really good blue belt side control or good purple belt side control, like you're gonna need a lot of detail. So, all right, hope that helps. Thanks.